I was thinking of going to the track sometime this week. We have a new layout and haven't been there in like 2 months. I want to see if I can break into the 7 seconds. I know the fast lap right now in mod is 8.1. Today's goal is to change the tires and check for tweak and the ride height. With the Reflex Racing RX28, any version, any model and any versions. When I set up the car from home and I take it to the track, the cars are not tweaked. I don't have anything like that. I just worry about how much how much steering do I want, less or more, depending on the track layout. But usually the car is ready to race once I have it set up from home. The rear tires, I have Marca 15's radial on Reflex Racing +3 wheel offset, and that's glued. Inside and then outside. But when I glued it, I didn't glue the outside all the way. It's just on the edge of the flange and a little bit on the sidewall, just to make sure that it won't fold. But I also glued the tire inside without using tool. And for the fronts, I have PN 19mm Delrin rims, 0 offset, with PN Racing KS 1038 that I scuff, just to make sure that it's round. You see this part is still shiny. It didn't get cut, but that's okay. Put on the track. I don't really, as I mentioned before, I don't cut my tires to a certain diameter. I just scuff it and make sure that it's pretty round. And I did also glue the front inside, inside the tire, and also the sidewall to the rim. I don't just glue the sidewall, I glue the sidewall and the rim all the way, and then in the back as well, all the way, the entire sidewall. But when I put it on the track and the car starts to understeer, I would shave the outside of the sidewall, just the edge, the corner, with a sandpaper. 800,000 grit. I think this is 1,000 grit. Just on the edge. I'm not sure if you can see that. Like that. I just do it like manually. I don't use Dremel or anything. Just to remove the glue on the outside. That's if your car is understeering, okay? Okay, now let's remove the wheels. The back first. On this side, you don't want to have to crank it that tight because the hub is going to move and it's going to put preload on that bearing. You don't want to do that. You just want it snug and make sure there's no movement between the hub and the wheel. That's all you need to do. I don't know if you noticed, but earlier when I pulled the wheel out in the drive side, a washer came out. That's because some of the wheels have a little bit of play between the hub, the wheel, and the diff plate. So when you tighten the wheel nut, you can still have a little bit of movement, something like that, right? So I put a shim to make sure that there's no movement. Let's see if this one has that. This wheel has that play. Yeah. It's just a little bit, but it's enough for the wheel to wobble. Okay, but when you go check this side, there isn't any. See that? There's no movement. This one, see that? It maybe doesn't do anything, but I'm okay with that stuff. in the front of the car, just not in the back. So I'd put a washer in there. And then I don't crank on the wheel nut. Now you can see the bearing, the wheel, and the diff. I'm gonna try to close that gap. Oh, it's a little bit more play. There you go. I don't crank on it. It's just enough to get rid of that the play. So now the wheel is not moving, just like this side. Now let's go to the front. Usually I don't replace the front wheel right away, but in this case it's worn out already. So what I do is tighten the wheel. You can see it's tight. And then loosen it up a little bit. No play, spin it, it's still tight. Loosen it up. Okay, that's good. And there's still no play. Sometimes it's loose, it spins freely, but you have this much play. You don't want that. You don't want that because the front end of this car already has a lot of play, right? And then if you have wheels doing this, you're just gonna have way too many play in the front. So like I said before, I'm okay with that, but I don't want to add more of that in the front of the car. Okay. Now let's check the ride height. Press the car down a few times and check the ride height. Oh, that's 1.9. I want 1.7. Push it down. Yep, I think it's good. No. I think that's 1.9. Let's lower that down. Again, I want 1.7 in the front. Push down. Yep, 1.7 right there. Yeah. No, that's not 1.8. Feels higher than that. It is 1.8. I don't want 1.8. I want 1.5. So, because I have new tires, I'm going to lower it from here using the Reflex Racing ride height tool. Again, push it down, push the car down, and check the ride height. 1.6. Yeah, 1.6. 1.7, 1.6. So I want to lower it some more. I'm going to turn the spring collar out. I'm going to back it out. Push down just a little bit. Yep, right there, 1.5. But again, you gotta remember, the track is bouncy. When I push it down, the car is still slowly going up. On the track, the car is bouncing around like this, where the suspension is working actively. So really, if I just let the suspension hang and don't press it down, I bet you this is like 1.8 or something. 1.9. Oh yeah, way past 2. but I push it down, and then that's where I check it. But really, like I said, on the track, this is me pushing it down. That's a lot of weight. I'm bottoming out the suspension like that. That's a lot of weight, and I don't think it's ever gonna do that on the track. I'm pretty sure it's gonna reset. The suspension is gonna reset itself. It's gonna be bouncing around like this, but that's just how I check it. I don't know how others do it, but that's the way I do it, and it's been working for me. Okay, so the back is 1.5, 1.6. The front is 1.7. So now checking for tweak. No, the way I fix the tweak is different from the local drivers. So maybe it's best to ask someone locally. But the idea is when you lift the center part of the, you know, the back or the front, you want the wheel to go up at the same time, right? Same goes for the front. When you lift up in the middle, you want the wheel to go up at the same time. And right now, I just checked it. I just checked the back side. It's kind of hard to show, but yeah, when you check it, you want to compress the suspension again, then lift it. I put a dot right there, which is dead center from the top shock, and that's where I would lift the car. And when I would lift it, both wheels should go up at the same time. The idea here is to have both wheels go up at the same time. If one side is going up than the other, you want to lower down that side. To do that, you adjust that. And anyway, that's a different, you know, I have different way of doing it. It's best really to just ask your local, because I asked different drivers locally and they showed me different ways of checking the tweak. Basically what I did was I combined all of the ideas I got from them and I started doing it on my own, but I'm not sure if I'm doing it the right way. But like I said, it's the fastest way. Whatever is the fastest way for me to get back on the track and start driving is better. I don't like to spend my time wrenching on my cars while I'm at the track. Usually I like to spend my time just driving. So yeah. Right now I'm gonna check for the tweak that I'm not going to take a video of. All right, that's all. And I would lift it, but I don't want to move the camera. That's a lot of work. Doing this is a lot of work, actually. Taking a video, well, this could have been done in 10 minutes, but I'm taking a video.